So now that I've talked about the pros of using the iPhone 5, I'm going to talk about the cons of this device, and especially coming from an Android user. For the first few days, I definitely did not get used to not having three buttons. The main button that I missed the most, and a lot of other people talk about it too, is the back button, which would be right here normally most of the time, but since this is Apple, it only has one button and it goes back here. And I also feel like sometimes because of the buttons that they put around like here, it sort of leads me astray because this becomes a back button, but when I get to the beginning, then it's gone, so I have to press this to get out of the app, which I find it took some time to get used to, but now I'm better. The second problem that I feel like I will have in the future is the home button being loose. I hear that a lot for other 5 users, and I'm no exception. This is actually my second one because the first one that I bought, after using it for a week or so, it already had a loose home button, so I just returned it to Apple and they approved my return. So this is the second one I'm using already, and I feel like the loose home button is sort of hindering me sometimes because I'm worried that it might not be functional in the future. Another problem that I've had, which was around yesterday, is I had this problem where I wasn't at home, and suddenly I just couldn't open any apps other than the stock system apps from Apple. So I couldn't open Ski, Safari, Spirit, any of these ones like the Thesaurus, Metronome. I couldn't open them for some reason. I would open them, but then they would just force close right away. And I was looking online, a lot of people say that you have to go to the App Store and reauthorize or re-download something, which I just connected to Wi-Fi and I had to sign into my Apple ID again. I don't know how that happened, but it's definitely maybe a glitch or something. So that was one thing that bothered me. So far, it's only happened to me once, so I'm grateful, but if it bothers me again in the future, I might second guess using this as a daily phone. Hopefully, a lot of other people haven't had the problem that I had, and right now, the problem was already gone, and the phone works great in general. I always like to keep very organized for my device, and coming from Android, I find it very annoying that Apple chooses to put all the icons on the top, which makes no sense at all. So all of my icons, they can only move, I'm sure you guys know this, but I just have to stress how annoying that is. So all of my icons can only be stuck auto range from the top onwards, which is very annoying because, for one thing, when we swipe to unlock, our thumb is on the bottom, but for some reason Apple decides to align all of them on the top. And I'm also very used to having applications on the corners, so on the bottom, like my old one, and now they're all just cluttered up here on the top. And because of that, it took me some time to get used to as well. The newsstand is another eyesore for me, since I never use this application, but I can't put it into a folder because it itself is already a folder apparently. So I've tried to just put it in here, but it won't let me. So instead it's just out there and I can't do anything about it. So those are just some of the little nuisance that I have. Stay tuned for week 2 of my experience with the iPhone 5 coming from an Android user. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.